all it takes is money, right? And it takes people, process, and technology time. And part of our work as an organization has been to help organizations figure out where to go find that money. Where do I go find the additional dollars? Where do I find the net neutral investment to be able to put the technology in place to get this type of insight? How will that then translate into transformational costs for policies and procedures? And then how do I move this into some level of actualization? And as we've done that with these 300 brands over the last 20 years, we found that funding typically comes from one of these three big buckets: blue, green, and orange. Blue representing the cash flows from incremental revenues that I get from selling new products and services. The green comes from people, process, and technology costs, or people, process, and technology savings. And the orange comes from media spend savings or redirection that I can get overall. If I give you, and those translate into basically a series of cash flows that can drop right into your business case. And this is typically the way this gets sold to senior management or into your board of directors. If you go down to that next level, what you see is that in the incremental revenues category, obviously you've got a set of cash flows coming from incremental sales and the operating profits that you intend to generate from them. But how big data and analytics help you in the incremental revenues category, your levers of improvement, so to speak, are in increasing the number of touch points that you have with consumers and being able to engage them in social media where you weren't able to before, or engage them in a new way on your website that you weren't able to before. Using that to drive up your overall engagement factor with that consumer and making them feel a higher degree of relevance and causing them an interest in cross-category shopping and multi-channel shopping. Using that to expand your marketable universe, influencing response and conversion rates or your shopping basket value. People, process, and technology cost area, you've got whether you have inventoried it or not, when in that instance where I talked about the organization that had 17 different customer masters within their organization, there was a 27 million euro cost savings opportunity by consolidation of those data stores into a single marketable asset, collection of the data from the variety of sources. And increasingly, with the cloud really making storage and computing power much more accessible, there's an increasing opportunity for virtualization of the infrastructure required to support your big data and analytics journey. And so while you are spending to implement people, process, and technology here, often what's overlooked is the ability for cost takeout or to do this in some level of net neutral fashion. I'll talk to you about a specific example in a moment where a simple policy change in the green funded the overall initiative. And then lastly is in the area of media spend, and this is your good old above-the-line brand spend, and we see this with organizations. I mean, it ranges from a couple of $100 million a year to 600 million euro a year to somebody like a P&G who has the largest above-the-line media spend in the world. This is really using big data and analytics to get at the inefficiencies in that above-the-line spend. What I will tell you about that is while you'll get some savings out of the orange, the insights that are unlocked in the insight phase have to be put to work in actualization, and one of the most powerful tools to put them to work in actualization comes from direct marketing, and it causes additional spend for email engagement, direct mail engagement, targeted banner, social media engagement with consumers.